Hey everyone, it's the end of the year, December 2023. I know it almost feels forever since I really did, an episode and talk to all of you. And I wanted to truly really set us up and wish you all a beautiful sort of closing to this year as we ramp into 2024. And I feel, as you can see, and I'll talk a little bit more about what I've gone through this year and even why I haven't been as, fully active with, full length, podcast videos and messages. Um, yeah, so it's going to be an awesome year. I feel it. But it was not an easy year. 2023, what was it like for you? I always like to do a year-end reflection, writing down and answering a few questions that made were highlights, whether that be highlights that were amazing, but even highlights of lessons that were pains and sufferings that I've had to gone through that I can learn from to add on to my experience add and use it for my next year. You know, I don't think I've told anyone or even shared this, but 2 years ago I got into an accident. I totaled my car, and I walked out. My partner walked out fine, no physical serious injuries of any sort. That could be seen. Yeah, I had some pain and whiplash and all of that, and of course that's normal. But what I didn't realize was I had a concussion. I hit my head really hard. And I thought, you know what? I'm okay. I can do my daily work, but I couldn't. There were weeks on end, months. I couldn't even sit in front of a screen. Lights and sounds were completely debilitating. I woke up, it took me a few hours to even get up in the morning. And I struggled for a long time. And I thought, you know what? I have Heal the Source. I have, all these books and all of these practices and things I've learned that help me. And I started applying them, but it wasn't enough. I'm like, why isn't this working? Well, I didn't know it was on such a deeper layer that how complex a brain injury really can be. And so I had to get to that zero state within myself once again. And this is the biggest learning lesson, that we think, we've gone through this. All right, that's it. We're good. And I think every time I say that to myself, something comes along and says, no, you remember, you got to still learn. So keeping that humble, grounded, centered, reflective state. Hey, I'm here to learn. I'm here to be conscious. And, those times where an example would be food. Let's say, I got really sick, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, I went to the hospital because, of course, of bad habits that I've, taken on, food and drink. And when I stopped it, I did the fast, I did the full cleanse. I was so conscious about healing. And when I felt better, all of a sudden I felt, hey, it doesn't hurt. Let's eat this again. Let's drink this again. And the ego is so, I guess, not disciplined. It's not mature enough to say, hey, do you remember how bad you felt? Do you remember your commitment to your health and well-being? Do you remember your commitment to the world, to serve, to your highest good in your deepest self? We often forget that because, we only need help. We only need to do something when we're feeling bad and we're desperate. And I think this is something you can all reflect on. Do you only take action when in desperation? When things are so bad that you have no choice but to seek help and do something about it? Rather, that could be definitely a huge way to motivate you. But what's more important is how you maintain that. How do you stick with that? You make that commitment only until that point where you feel good again, you feel normal, and then you throw everything out. I've done that countless times. And so this is one of those lessons. Every year, I'm going to remind myself that my commitment to my health and well-being, to being aware, to be open, humble, grounded, the zero state, to learn that I can always learn and grow more by seeking help. And that commitment is what I had to go through. I struggled for so long. I thought I didn't need a therapist anymore. I didn't need doctors. I didn't need this and mentors. And it was a huge struggle for me. But once I decided, hey, you know what? I can't do this right now. I'm expecting so much of myself. And all I'm doing is every day I just get angry and frustrated and irritated with everybody around me. I felt so unmotivated to do anything. I closed my business. I gave up on so many things I enjoyed to do. Well, first of all, I couldn't do it physically, but I didn't have the heart. I pulled back from doing more because I couldn't do it. And perhaps you've reached that point in your life, maybe sometime this year. But there's always a choice. There's always a turning point. And I decided, you know what? I need more. I need help. And when I commit to that and someone is there, actually, I sought multiple people. Those people kept me accountable. I kept myself accountable. And I think the biggest change that I've made in my journey of life and my habits and my choices is I gave up drinking. It's almost a year now. I'm alcohol free. And this is something I don't say much about or talk much about. And it feels like it's a normal thing, right? A long day from work, you have a drink, you go party, you go to dinners and you have a drink. It didn't feel like it was a problem. And, is it only a problem when I'm full blown, alcoholic and I, wake up and I have to have a drink? No, it was affecting me in ways that I only saw when I stopped. And it prevented a huge part of the healing journey. And once I did, I was able to focus on what I truly needed. And I didn't realize I was using it as a way to just coast, to just avoid. And, as humans, we use anything that we can think of or have access to that is easy to avoid something we're uncomfortable with. And often what we're uncomfortable with is leveling up and growing and seeking, more clarity and freedom over where we're at. We don't want to admit that where I'm at now is I'm not happy. I'm stuck. I need help. We think that because we acknowledge that ego, we're disintegrated. Our sense of self no longer is what we thought. We don't exist because we're weak. So once you're able to clear that and say, I'm not my circumstance. I am not what I believe myself to be. I am a whole person. And there's only one thing that we all need. We need love. We need to connect. We need to connect with ourselves. Every time I say, I don't need help, I can't acknowledge this. I'm avoiding. I'm going to, do bad habits to help me cope. I'm rejecting myself. And I'm rejecting what my deepest need is, which is my want, rather than I don't want. I want to feel free, in control, joyful, peaceful, conscious, aware, healthy, strong. I'm not even close to that if I'm drinking every day, or if I'm, feeling sorry about myself and then crawl into a hole and don't do anything about it. I am going to attend those goals of being free and strong by asking, how can I do this? Who can help me? And when I do, I let go of that fear of not existing as who I am. When you become nothing, you have infinite. So this is a call. What is it that maybe you need more of? What is it that you need to let go of in terms of habits, in terms of practices, and maybe attachments? We call them attachments. And here I am, ready for the first time in 4 years, going back to Japan. And am so happy and looking forward to seeing the I would call him the special presence, Jiho-san, at the temple, and yeah, to do a full reset. That's where I learned how to take care of my body, to fast. And you've seen the fasting, the water fast videos, and how to focus on, reaching that state that is enlightened. Enlightenment is feeling present, is living consciously, is intending what you want for yourself and others, most of all you. So what are you missing? Can you take that account really honestly, authentically, and say, hey, I'm not happy about this, I want this. And then the most important thing is to take action and commit to it. That is the hardest thing to do. I know there were times when I didn't want to do anything. I know I wanted it, but I felt like, what, I don't feel like it. I'm so tired. I'm so angry. I'm so upset. I'm hurting all over. I can't do it. But through the help of clinics, doctors, mentors, therapists, reading books, I took different courses. I was so focused, like, I want this, so I'm going to commit to it. No matter how many times I've fallen or given up, I'm still doing it. And here I am now. It's been a year. All the goals that I thought I wanted to achieve last year and a year and a half or 2 years ago, and I wasn't getting them, all I kept doing was being increasingly hard on myself. I was judgmental, critical. That doesn't motivate me. So I went little by little. And here I am. I build myself back up. I apply the wind journal again, right? I stopped doing it. I think most people I work with, when they're, lost and feeling confused and unmotivated, I'm like, what happened to your wind journal practice? Yeah, I haven't done it. So it goes hand in hand, cascading those wins and really feeling it. I was affirming gratitude every single moment of every day and taking action and really committing to it. So if you're at that stage and you want to reach out, go for it. Say, I need this, and I'm going to make a commitment to it. What am I willing to do to live the life I want to design for myself right now? Well, can't do it alone. It's like you want to drive a car when you've never driven it before and you don't get an instructor. Impossible. It's absurd. It's illegal. You have to learn with someone there. You don't go to the Olympics without a coach, right? That's absurd. So why would you go through life without guidance? Someone there supporting you? Well, it's the one source of fear that we avoid. And it's in my book, Heal the Source. You can download the free chapters on my website, healthesource.com. And I'd say we don't seek the help. We don't seek coaching. We don't get why? Because when we acknowledge we need help, it's as if we're affirming that we're somehow less than, we're weak, we're incompetent, we're vulnerable. So shifting that perspective, it brings up all the past experiences of growing up when you ask for help, especially when you're most vulnerable. I'm fearful. I'm absolutely terrified of this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then you might have gotten a response. Suck it up. Who cares about how you feel? You got to do this. Now go up there. There was not enough loving, winning, supportive, acceptance, embracing, encouragement. And this is not the what only toxic positivity that you see out there. That's not what I'm saying. Actually, that's coming from a lack state. It's denying the feeling that you are disappointed and that you need support. It's like, oh, just feel good, just feel good, just feel good. That's a denial. That's a rejection. And our source fear, there's only one fear, is that fear of rejection, the fear of non-existence. When we are not feeling accepted by someone else, we feel like we don't exist. That's why it's so terrifying. So turn inward and say, I accept you no matter what. Whatever pain you're going through, how many times you've fallen and failed. I have. And yet, this is what I want. Can you help me? You can't? Well, most people give up. You try, you fail, give up. This is how success happens. I didn't give up. I kept going. Yeah, there were times I felt like giving up. I did give up. But overall, I didn't. I came back in. I did it again. I did it again. And here I am, a culmination of this whole year. If I look back now, if I see those moments of I just didn't want to do anything, but all those other moments of I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to really open up to the help that I need. I'm going to keep knocking until I get it. And I did get it. So, as my good colleague says in our first podcast video, Gary Thibault, who helped me with my physical health, years back, he said, if you knock on enough doors, either your knuckles will turn white or a door will open. If you keep knocking, at least a door will open. So ask and you shall receive. Now find that. We're so conditioned to get that instant, gratification. Oh, I go for a goal. I ask you, you should do this and it should happen. No, it doesn't happen like that. And if we let go of that expectation of this instant thing, then we'll always be disappointed because we're not getting it. And I felt that. So it took me a year more. And now I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to remember it. It's not like now I feel awesome that all my practices, I don't need them anymore. No, this is where it grows stronger and you got to upkeep them. It's like you go to the dentist, you fix a cavity, and you say, I don't have to brush my teeth anymore because my teeth are good. No, it's going to rot in a week. Same thing. Can you upkeep this commitment to your highest good in your deepest self? The best way to do that is do it with someone. Full commitment. And yes, you commit with me if you want. Hey, just book a call. 30 minutes. Help you get to the source of something like that and say, is this what you want? You want to make a full commitment. Everyone who has, went all in with me for 90 days, like truly all in with zero. I commit to, I'm going to do whatever you tell me. That's how I've succeeded. Every mentor, every coach, every therapist, every course that I've done, I went to zero. I said, teach me everything. I will do whatever you say. My mentor, Jerry Robert, changed my life. Why? I made so much progress in such a short time. Why? He used this phrase. It was hilarious to me. He said, because you are coachable. Absolutely, 100% coachable, which means if I told you to go the corner of Bay and Bloor and just spit out quarters, you would do it. And I did. I did everything he said, even though I was terrified. I remember my first pitch. I pissed my pants before, during, and after. And I didn't even know what was happening. And we talked about it. I failed miserably. And then he said, it's normal. Let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, do this again. Do that again. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Whoever you choose, whatever course you pick, whatever person that you want to help you with, it's you choosing to go to zero is going to get you most success. So it doesn't matter where you go. Probably you've even gone to gyms and you sign up for memberships and you go one time and then pay. I mean, Netflix is a great example. I don't watch most days. And when I do, I sit there and I go through thousands of channels and programs. And I don't pick a single one. There are too many choices and I forget about it. Yet I'm subscribed to it. So make a commitment to what you do want and really stick to it. Go to zero. You can go to zero with me and see what happens. But you got to tell yourself you want this, you want to be ready for it, to let go of everything that you think you know and fully trust a master. And so I send you this. I wish you the most amazing, amazing year ahead. And if there's anything that you feel like you need to let go of, to face, to confront, call someone to help you. Contact me. I'm there. This is my commitment. And I've lived life, most of it, just for myself. I was miserable. I'm living for you. I want you to feel this joy and peace and mastery and control and freedom, and to create whatever you want to create, and then help millions of other people. Imagine the world we would create, that we would maintain. We'd be in Star Trek like that. We would have inventions instead of trying to kill each other, go to war, squabble, steal each other's things. We're still living in primitive, unconscious, primal fear response life. So time to rise up. Time to wake up. I'm here for you. So if you celebrate the holidays, I'm definitely, stay tuned. You're going to see tons of videos. I'm going to organize a beautiful retreat next year too. And amazing, amazing year ahead. And most of all, just exude that immense gratitude that you're here now. If you're listening to this, you're alive, you're breathing. You have potential to do whatever else you want. And I am truly grateful for this opportunity that I even get to speak. I get to be like this today. It took me a very long time. Well, short in comparison to the amount of years I've had. So it could be 90 days that could change your life. Wishing you an awesome year and much love to you and everybody you know. And keep in touch. See you very soon.